Conduct competency assessment. Establish the context and purpose of assessment. The assessor must familiarize self with the qualification or unit of competencies to be assessed. Ensure that the assessment site complies with the relevant occupational health and safety requirements. Ensure that the assessment resources are available. The assessor must ensure that the tools, equipment, and facilities are ready and available in the assessment site before the assessment starts. A checklist of tools, equipment, and facilities must be on hand to help the assessor monitor the availability and completeness of the tools, equipment, and facilities. The checklist of tools, equipment, and facilities are included in the assessor's guide. The assessor shall receive assessment package composed of the following. Number 1, one copy of the assessor's guide. Number 2, specific instruction to the candidate. Number 3, competency assessment results summary. Number 4, written report. Number 5, written test. Number 6, answer sheets. Number 7, and rating sheets. Prepare the candidate. The assessor shall introduce himself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vano. I am accredited competency assessor for electronic products assembly and servicing NC2.
Acknowledge the presence of the processing officer, assessment center manager, and the TESTA representative.
I would like to acknowledge the presence of Ms. Jessica Odin, our processing officer, Ms. Camille Castillo, our assessment center manager, Mr. John Cameron, our representative for TESDA Provincial Office. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. You do not have to worry about their presence. They are here to oversee the conduct of competency assessment and to check if the conduct of the assessment is in accordance with the prescribed competency assessment methodology and procedures. They will not assess you.
Check attendance and identity of candidates and collect the admission slips.
Before I start, please present to me your admission slip. Thank you. As I call your name, please acknowledge by raising your hand. Miss Apple Jandayan. Okay. Mr. Dave Alipoyo. Miss Melody Amto.
Present to the candidates an accomplished application form with self-assessment guide.
I have here with me your accomplished application form and self-assessment guide. This is an indication that you know and can perform all the unit competency enumerated for electronic products assembly and servicing and C2.
Conduct orientation to the candidates. The assessor must explain the context and purpose of the assessment. The competency assessor gives the overview of the qualification to be assessed.
I would like to welcome everyone to our Center for your assessment for electronic products assembly and servicing and C2. The purpose of our assessment is to determine the level of your competency.
Qualifications or units of competency to be assessed.
Today, I am going to administer competency assessment for electronic products assembly and servicing and C2. The qualification for electronic product assembly and servicing and C2 are composed of basic, common, and core competencies. For our core competencies, we do have assemble electronic products. Second, service consumer electronic products and system. Third, we have service industrial electronic modules, products, and systems.
Task to be performed and the evidence to be collected.
The different tasks to be performed for electronic products assembly and servicing NC2 assessment are the following: assemble and deassemble DVD power supply, microwave oven parts and troubleshooting, LED TV parts and troubleshooting, CCTV installations. We will collect evidences through demonstrations, oral questioning, and written test.
Assessment procedures to be undertaken.
To determine your knowledge, skills for electronic product assembly and servicing NC2, the assessment method we will use is oral questioning, demonstration, and written test. These assessment methods can help to measure your underpinning knowledge and skills.
Needs of the candidates to be considered during the assessment.
For your personal needs, and lavatory is located at the end of the hallway, and you can also take your meal at our canteen located at the lobby. However, during the assessment, you are not allowed to leave the premises of the assessment center.
Allowable or reasonable adjustment when applicable.
If you have difficulty in understanding the given instruction, please do not hesitate to inform me because we are willing to translate it for you. Also, during the written examination, if you have dilemma in writing down your answers, don't be shy because we can accept your answers verbally.
Do's and don'ts during the assessment.
If you have any concerns, questions, or there is a need of clarification matter concerning the assessment, you may raise your hand because I am more than willing to assist you. But once the assessment has started, please refrain from asking questions. It is no longer allowed. In the same token, during the assessment, if you have physical or any form of difficulties, do not hesitate to call my attention so that we can address it immediately.
Rights and appeal system.
In case you have any questions regarding the assessment result, you may have you have the right to appeal, sorry. You can submit your appeal to the TESDA provincial office where the assessment center and assessor are accredited.
Issuance of national certificate or certificate of competency.
For the insurance of the national certificate, the assessment center manager shall inform you where you can claim your national certificate within 5 working days after the assessment.
Reassessment procedures.
After the assessment and you are found to be not yet competent, don't worry about it because you can reassess anytime at your own convenience. In case In case the reassessment is full qualifications, we have to undergo the whole assessment process. If you are found to be competent in some unit competencies, the reassessment shall focus in the unit competencies where you were found to be not yet competent. Also, if you failed two consecutive assessment, you will be advised to undergo a refresher course because you're applying for before reapplying for reassessment.
Occupational safety and health requirements.
During the actual assessment, please observe safety as you perform on the different tasks. Make sure to check on your electrical equipment before plugging it. Avoid pulling the cord as you unplug the equipment. Observe proper body mechanism when lifting heavy equipment to avoid back injuries. In case of accident, please call my attention immediately so that we can provide you with first aid, and you should need a rise of our first aid cabinet is located at the right side of the workshop.
Confidentiality of assessment outcomes.
With regards to the result of your assessment, we observe strict confidentiality. This is to ensure your integrity and the results only made available to the authorized personnel and to the institution where you had your actual training. In relation to this, the assessment package is kept in a secure place and guarantee the integrity of the assessment package. May I ask all the candidates to refrain from giving away any form of information that took place during the assessment process. If you don't have any questions or clarifications, then I'm going to distribute the specific instructions. Please read them carefully and do not hesitate to ask questions right now. And maybe I will transfer it from English to local dialect. If you need assistance, then I will be more than willing to assist you.
Provide each candidate a copy of the specific instructions to the candidate. Assign a number to the candidates.
I will give you your assigned number. Here's your for our candidate number 1, it will be Dave Alipuyo. For our candidate number 2, it will be Melody Amto, and candidate number 3 is Apple Handayan.
Administer the assessment.
Okay. May I call on candidate number 1, Mr. Dave Alipuyo? Please go to the assessment room. Thank you, Mr. Dave. So, candidate number 1, this is our assessment area where you are going to perform assemble and deassemble of DVD power supply.
Okay, ma'am.
So here's my instruction before we begin. Using the material, tools, and equipment, you are required to perform the task within 2 hours. Again, within 2 hours. I will be observing you while you are performing the task. After your demonstration, I will ask you some questions related to your demonstration. You can call me when there is a need for me to translate or explain items for clarification. After the questioning portion, I will give you feedback about your performance. Do you have any questions and clarifications?
Ma'am, I don't have further questions and clarifications.
Okay. If there is no more questions, you may start now.
While the candidate performs the activity, you must remind candidate to observe safety precautions. Stop candidate if accident is imminent. Keep notes of unusual condition during the assessment. After the demonstration, the candidate will be asked a series of questions based on her performance during the assemble and deassemble DVD power supply for the oral questioning. The candidate number 1 was able to answer all the questions asked by the assessor. Candidate number 2 was able to answer the questions, though some of her answers are incorrect. Record on rating sheets details of evidence collected and judgment made about the candidate's performance. Provide feedback on the assessment. The assessor must provide candidate about the outcomes of the assessment process. For positive feedback, competent.
Okay, candidate number 1, please sit down. How do you feel about the assessment?
Ma'am, I am confident that I was able to perform well during the demonstration, even if I have a hard time with the written test and the oral questioning.
Okay.
Summarize the performance of the candidate during the whole assessment process.
So my observation coincide with your opinion. You are incompetent in performing You are competent in performing the different skills of electronic product assembly and servicing in situ. However, I have noticed that you are not confident in answering the questions during the oral questioning. Nevertheless, you have able to answer all questions correctly, and results of the written test show that you are knowledgeable enough about electronic product assembly and servicing in situ. In this matter, I would like to congratulate you for a job well done. I found out that you are already competent. Please sign the competency assessment result summary.
Present the rating sheets to the candidate to affix his signature on the candidate's signature portion. This is a proof that he accepts your assessment decision. You can get your national certificate or certificate of competency. Give a copy of the accomplished competence assessment results summary to the candidate. Make sure Make sure that the document is signed by the candidate in the appropriate space, then affix your signature.
Okay, thank you. For the insurance of national certificate, the AC manager shall inform you where to claim your national certificate after 5 working days. In this regard, I would like to say congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Recommended feedback for not yet competent.
So now we have candidate number 2. Please sit down. So, Miss Melody, how do you feel about the assessment?
I feel so nervous because I forgot where to place back the original placement of component in the DVD power supply, and I almost passed out during the assessment, ma'am.
Really? In that manner, what will you do if you will ask to demonstrate the assemble and assemble of the DVD power supply?
I will try my best to control my fears and focus on the task and being asked.
So, what have you learned from this session?
I have learned that I should review on the knowledge and skills for me to become confident, and also I will change my negative attitude towards learning, and I will try my best to focus and practice.
Okay, Miss Melody Amto, you have able to answer some questions from the written test. Actually, you are good. However, you have not able to place the back at the original placement of components in the DVD power supply. Based on the result of my observation during your demonstration, the outcome of the assessment is that you are not yet competent. However, you can be reassessed anytime at your convenience. If you have doubts about your assessment result, you have the right to appeal. You can submit your appeal to the TESDA provincial office where the assessment center and assessor are accredited. Well, would you please sign the competency assessment result summary? Do you have any questions, Ms. Amto?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much.
Record and report the result. The assessor shall record the assessment outcome. Ensure rating sheets are signed by the candidate after providing feedback. Accomplish the competency assessment results summary. Submit to the assessment center manager assessment reports. The assessment center manager will give the documents to the processing officer. To accomplish the registry of workers and assessed and certified. Sign Registry of Workers Assessed and Certified. After accomplishing the Registry of Workers Assessed and Certified, the processing officer will ask the assessor and assessment center manager to sign before passing it on together with the other documents to the TESDA representative. The TESDA representative will then deliver the documents to the designated TESDA office.